I am live here today. Kind of posted this at the last second, so I'm not sure if anybody will even get notified that I am going live. But today I wanted to kind of make a quick intro video talking about spiritual warfare and the true nature of our reality. Obviously, most people that are awake know full well that we are in a spiritual battle, that there are, forces of darkness at work against us. Hey, Atreus, how's it going? I'm not sure why YouTube just tried to hold your comment for review with just hearts. That's really ridiculous. But anyways, so yeah, fundamental truths of our reality, right? That we are not just physical beings. There is a spiritual aspect. There's a soul inside of this physical vessel that is empowering this physical vessel. The spiritual and the physical are interlinked. So, what you do in this physical world, whether you are becoming more corrupt or you are purifying, your soul is also following with that, right? Your soul is either being corrupted with the body or it's being purified with the body. Anybody who watches my shows know I'm really big on purification. And actually, I recently was listening to an interview with some dry fasters, and they were talking about how through dry fasting, the nature of our reality has become even more clear, which obviously, should make common sense. Hey, Levi, how's it going? Through dry fasting, you not only find physical healing, but, you're going to find a spiritual enlightenment as well. Just not consuming fluoride, right? Not consuming fluoride, not putting fluoride in all of the various, ways that they try to slip it in, not just in water, but in toothpaste, in, processed foods. Not consuming fluoride is obviously going to help you to find a spiritual enlightenment. But it was really interesting that they brought to, the conversation that when they were doing dry fasting, that they, had this spiritual, let me shut this door really quick. They had this spiritual experience, right, where they recognized the fact that they were experiencing or dealing with external forces that were trying to trick them, trying to deceive and corrupt them. There are entities out there, it's not, I wouldn't say necessarily one species specific. I've mentioned before about how different species over time, Jinn were once center stage. The reptilians like dragons were once center stage. Nakash were once center stage. And then over time, right now we're at a point where humans are center stage. So they've kind of been pushed to the wayside. So it can create this animosity between humans and other species. And hi, Tiffany, how's it going? One of the things that some of these species find entertaining, find to be, to add substance to their life, I guess, reason for existence. They have fun tormenting humans, right? They find it really fun to see us suffer, to see us crushed down, and to see us turned into clowns. If we, look out into our world, there's so many different agendas, different things set in our path to turn us into clowns, to try to program us, to try to influence us into becoming degenerate clowns, right? The worst versions of ourselves possible. And then the spiritual world can sit back and laugh at us. And obviously, like I was saying, it's not species specific, and it's not every member of every species. Some of the watchers, don't enjoy humans being made into clowns, while others do. We are living in, a true man, true woman type situation where all eyes are on us. Well, shouldn't say all eyes. I guess there are some souls out there that, they don't want to be watching what happens under the dome. Maybe they say they've seen it all. They try to go as far away in the cosmic ocean away from physical matter from Earth, from the show, as they can. So anyways, obviously there's different personalities, but some of the Watchers, some of the species do enjoy torturing humans. And, obviously from a really human-based perspective, we would probably consider them demons. But I kind of try to not be limited strictly to a human perspective. Understand that, my soul hasn't always been human. I've been other species, and I don't want to have a limited human-based perspective to where I don't see the bigger picture, right? And the bigger picture being, obviously, what we are doing to other species is giving other species room to do that exact stuff to us, right? By enslaving, by using and abusing other species, by running after them with forks and knives, we are karmically consenting to those kinds of things happening to us. So this whole new world order situation is being fueled by us ultimately. And the world doesn't have to be like this. I keep trying to tell people, like, this world is essentially a blank slate, and any reality can be manifest here. Potentially any artist, let's consider all of our souls artists. Any artist can go up to the blank slate and draw a picture. And the picture that has been drawn is a very hellish one. But, through purification, through uniting together as a species, we can definitely change that and make the picture into more of a heaven. This world that we are in is a place that souls that are, I guess I wanted to say higher vibration and lower vibration, but it's not really like a black and white thing. Every soul has light and dark aspects to them. So it's not that, it's not, like I said, it's not a black and white thing, but anyways, souls that tend to be more lower vibration and souls that tend to be more higher, both come into this world. And that causes, this dynamic of these souls coming from, above or below, coming into this realm and then fighting for a better world, fighting for survival even, right? The way that it's been set up, the current state of things, I guess I'm trying to say, obviously designed to crush humans down and make us into clowns. I keep going back to that because that's really so much of a focus of these other entities, or of a lot of these other entities, to make humans into clowns. It's like the reason that they find enjoyment in existence. Just the same, someone might say, as the clown down the street finds happiness in his existence by eating bacon and masturbating to invert porn. It's like really pathetic. But anyways, because it's kind of a little bit of a different subject, but all of these souls, all of our souls have reasons for continuing to exist, and some of them are quite negative. And yeah, I also understand, though, that there is room for this negativity to happen to humans. Just what I was saying before, it's like if we're hurting the innocents, then we deserve to be crushed down. We deserve to be made into clowns. And if you can get over your ego or whatever, yourself for a second and see the bigger picture, you would definitely agree. It's just logical. So having a really human-based, limited perspective is definitely not a good thing. But yeah, I also want to do more videos on this topic in the future. If there are any other questions that you have, I wanted to do a transvestigation Q&A as well in the future to talk more about the details about those that are running our world and how, Satan, this dark entity, well, he wasn't always a dark soul, a dark lost soul, but he has become dark and lost over time. Anyways, he uses these inverted clowns to rule our world, to influence us, to corrupt and deceive us. And, they get enjoyment from this. So it's definitely an interesting topic. And Atreus says, do you think the Hindus are more closer to the truth since they are heavy on this karma stuff? That's a good question. I haven't really studied Hinduism in depth. I personally think that all religions have some of the truth, and seeing how all of these different religious philosophies, theologies, whatever, overlap, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I think that's where we can find, the solid truth. And even in the Bible, it's talking about doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. It doesn't exactly say, karma or whatever, but there even, it shows actions having consequences in the Bible. And that's essentially what karma is, right? It's a consequence for your action. Every action has a consequence. And ultimately, the mother, Sophia, is the one who determines what the punishment is for your sins. I really love this whole mother aspect of it, not just with the grounding and how, us going out there and physically connecting with the earth is like a baby physically connecting with the mother and having that just bond. I love mother, everything about being a mom and parenting. So it's really cool to see that. And ultimately, Sophia, what mama says goes. She is all physical matter. She has the right to determine what the rules are because she's the one that is empowering all of this physical matter ultimately. Like her soul is the soul that is making all of this happen. And our souls are just, coming into this physical reality that is made by her. And we're just partaking in it. Like we only have to deal with the pain and suffering of our own selves while she's dealing with the pain and suffering of every living being that's in this physical realm. She has a connection to them. She is feeling what they are feeling and going through everything that they are doing too. So, if anybody has a say in what the rules should be and the punishment of those things, it's it's her. So, Levi said, so true. Chemtrails are warfare on our minds. Yes, trying to get chemicals, not just spraying us with chemicals, right? But putting it into everything, our water, our food, just trying to poison us at every step. And it's really hard to get away from, obviously. Hey, Demetrius, how's it going? Astral Angel 777 says, where's the best place to start when learning about the Ascension process? That is an interesting question. I personally think that, all of the answers that we are looking for, we can find by looking inside. And it kind of sounds a little bit cliche, but when you are purifying yourself, physically, your spirit is purifying as well. Your soul is purifying. And that's where I personally encourage people to try to find this enlightenment, to look within, not, obviously there's plenty of great books and stuff that you can read through and try to pick out different truths in the midst of all the lies, right? But I think that the best way would just be to start to purify yourself, to dry fast, really. And in doing that, you can actually set your intent for your dry fast as more of a ritualistic type thing. Like maybe you are setting your intent I am going to dry fast because I want to seek the answer for this specific question, or seeking a specific thing. And it's kind of the biblical concept as well, right? Like fasting and prayer, to find the answer to your question, your problem, or whatever issue is going on in your life. So Celtic Meltdown says, Happy New Year. I love your show. Thank you. Pistis Sophia. Yes, there are some really great extra biblical texts that talk about Sophia. And unfortunately, though, a lot of the Gnostic texts have been demonized like every text, basically the way that I look at it, it's like the text wasn't written in English. Somebody had to translate it in English. So there's, already one person that I have to trust. I have to trust that the person translating it from this language to the other language, isn't doing anything shady. And then even before that, it's like, how many revisions did it go through to get to that point before they even translated it into English? And with the Bible in Jeremiah, I think it's Jeremiah 8:8, it says, that the Torah was made in vain by lying scribes' pens. So knowing that, the priesthood was infiltrated and Satanists have the obligation to corrupt, to deceive, it kind of just makes sense. So I think that everything that we read really needs to be taken with discernment. But it's like, I can sit down with, a book from any different religion and read it and, take out little tiny tidbits of gold information. And that's usually how these deceptions are presented to us. Like, they'll put a little nugget of truth and then mix truth with lies so that, the truth will grasp onto people. And a lot of times they'll just, overlook the lies just because of the truth that they do find in it. So let us see what's going on. Atreya says, even our clothes leach poisons into our skins. Yes, make your own detergent. Sorry. I think read deodorant later. Okay. I do agree with that. And also the clothes and the different frequencies with all the different fabrics being used is pretty interesting to do some more research into that, and how like mixing different types of fabrics can mess with the frequencies of the fabrics. And then, you have this piece of clothing that is just really jumbled in frequencies, and then you're putting it on yourself. Like, it's going to be really cool in the golden age to get away from this, to have more pure linens, more pure detergent, like you said. And somebody else mentioned deodorant as well. As far as deodorant goes, the more pure that your diet is, the more pure you are, the less you're going to smell. People that, eat death all the time, they walk around smelling like death really bad. But I've personally noticed, like when I'm a really pure raw fruitarian, like when I do a raw vegan week, like I don't smell at all. But if you put like any type of chemicals, or if I eat processed food and stuff, it's like okay, there's not horrible, but it's like your body just reacts, and it's like your body's telling you to stop eating this stuff because you smell bad. It's like, so purifying the diet definitely helps with that. And I don't believe that we need deodorant. I don't use shampoo. The hair is naturally made to clean itself. And you have to take into account, the powers that be and all of the chemicals that they're putting in. It's like, if you look at it from their perspective, they're like, all these humans are going to be using this on their hair, so let's put in there something that, maybe makes them lose their hair, or stuff that's specifically bad for that. And, I guess that's kind of like a little bit, people would say borderline paranoid, but it's like, that's the way that it is. It's like they have all of these different agendas, even when it comes to reproductive health, right? They want to control reproduction. So when it comes to like tampons and pads and stuff that they are specifically making for women to put in that area, it would make sense to me that they would be putting harmful reproductive chemicals in there so that they can cause these issues. If you, for the ladies that are watching, a Diva cup is what I use. So yeah, anyways, let's move on from that topic. Hey, Ramsey, how's it going? Hey, Sage. Ramsey said, not sure about that, Atreus. They are just like us, just a different kind of culture and cosmology. In India, they have, oh, really? That's really interesting. Casties, okay. Yeah. Like I was saying, I think that all of these, all the different groups have, hey, good, how are you? Have different corruptions that have snuck into their teachings. Okay. Hey, Eric, how's it going? So glad we have you teaching the truth. Hi, Anana. How are you doing today? Ramsey says, hey, Anana, do you have a Telegram chat group? I do not. I have a really crappy internet provider, so it's like some of Instagram and YouTube and Facebook work, but I can't get on Twitter. I can't get on Amazon. I have serious issues when it comes to the internet, and it's the only provider in the area. And I think that Telegram is one of the ones that does not work at home. So yeah. Eric says, looking fabulous as always. Thank you. Deodorant free for 10 years. Man, nice. Sage says, Ramsey had me on it, same username. Nice. Levi says, Inanna, what kind of shampoo? Like I was saying before, I haven't used shampoo for a while. If you think of other animals in the wild, they don't use shampoo. Like the hair has natural oils that should be basically, I have a bamboo brush and I kind of like brush all of the oils through the hair so that all of the natural, this is how God made it to work. I'm not really sure. I can't really, I'm not saying it properly, but running your hands through your hair and detangling your hair and not putting a bunch of chemicals that clog up the pores and, counteract the natural oils in the hair, I think is really important. So, yes. Eric says, so now for us that know all of this, where do we go? We must now research and follow our leaders of truth. Always question everyone. I definitely agree with that. Personally, I am focused on getting ready for what is ahead. We are already seeing the depopulation working with all of the jabs and all of the other stuff. But last night I was watching a documentary about the shortages that are coming and how they have, intentionally created issues in the supply line to cause what is coming, right? Pestilence. I was going to start counting like this. That was really weird. Pestilence, famine, war, and death. So like all of these things, them creating new diseases and releasing them causing supply line shortages, causing causing drought, causing flooding, to cause famine. All of these things have been in the works for many years. And, knowing that this is coming and preparing is obviously vital. I know that Eric's got a really awesome homestead working right now. And I definitely encourage people to do that. Just be as prepared as possible, get off the grid, have emergency supplies of food ready, and, try to wake other people up as much as possible. At this point, it's like, seems like the truther community hasn't really grown that much, and it can seem really discouraging with all of the people that aren't waking up. But I still hold on to hope. I still want to keep planting those seeds, and eventually, hopefully something happens that flips that switch for them, and then they can be like, oh, well, she was telling me this whole time that it happened, so she was right. Like, what other things might she be right about? And then kind of opening up that door. So Eric says, remove ourselves from the world around us and embrace our creator's design. Absolutely. Hashtag jab free forever. Eric says, my girlfriend and I are embracing the fast lifestyle, and it just adds on to what we are starting. That's so cool. I love, to see couples doing purification together. If you find somebody, well, that's what you should be trying to find, right? You should be trying to find somebody that aligns with your ideals, that will encourage you and be beside you as you push and purify yourself, not someone that's going to be like, oh my God, you're going to kill yourself if you fast, or like just a negativity around it. So yes, looks like I got a spammer in the chat. Levi said people in the 1900s used eggs to wash their hair. Yes. Some people still do. I really think that's disgusting. You're going to take a chicken period and put it onto your head. Like, what is wrong with you? Anyways, yeah. Hair products, mainstream hair products do have, animal I want to say it has like glycerin or stuff from pigs in it for like shininess. So it's real gross what they put into all of these products to try to make us into clowns, right? Like somebody putting pig fat on their head, somebody cracking an egg on their head is like, that's hilarious. That is a clown. And this just comes right back to what I've been saying. These entities, that's what makes their existence worth it. Like they focus all of their energy and get all of their pleasure off of humans suffering and being clowns. So please take into consideration what you are doing so that you are not a clown, because this is embarrassing, guys. It's embarrassing to be a human with all of these human clowns running around, and we get the chance to change it. So thank you all for being here and, pushing yourself and having an open mind to purification and becoming a better version of yourself possible. I'm actually going to be wrapping this up. Hey, 1111 code, how's it going? I am going to go home and finish the processing of the video, the Battle of Bunny Flats, finally. And I'm going to hopefully process it overnight tonight and then get it uploaded for tomorrow at 8 p.m. PST to have a premiere. So I hope that you will join me for that. I'm really excited to finally get this out right after the Battle of Bunny Flats. I had the lava fire and I've had a lot of other stuff come up. So it's been, a long time coming. I apologize about the delay, but I'm really excited to share the Battle of Bunny Flats with you tomorrow night at 8. So make sure that you tune in for that. And yeah, 1111 Co says, good, thanks, you look well. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm definitely enjoying my dry fasting results. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. So yes, that is, Eric says, either one creates or one destroys. Pretty cut and dry. Yep. All right. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to get off here and go finally finish the editing for this and show it to you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. PST. So make sure that you come and join me for that. I look forward to connecting with you then. And if you have any other questions about, the spiritual warfare, the nature of our reality, I definitely would love to answer that and do a more in-depth video talking about these topics. Spiritual, the spiritual nature of everything has really been a really big focus for me through the awakening process. Like I want to find a spiritual enlightenment. I want to know the truth of not just the physical world that we live in, but mainly like I'm really passionate about the spiritual aspect and that focus. So yeah, I hope that if you do have any questions, you will reach out and let me know. And like I said, join me tomorrow night at 8 p.m. PST for the Battle of Bunny Flats. Yay! Have a wonderful evening. May God and the Goddess bless you.